Keontae Roberts is the funniest guy, man. He just Fred Burley is the funniest that could get away with anything. Played with Middle OSU. We played AU together with Johnny Chicken Man with the Rams. So I've known Fred since like the 9th grade. He's the only guy that I've ever been around that could make Coach Sutton cancel practice. He would say stuff that Coach said he did not say that. Wow. It is so ridiculous. So, for instance, prime example. Okay. Coach is mad at us, and we're just running. We're just like running. You know, back in the day, it ain't no limit. We done run about 10 conditioners after practice. You still running. Somebody go miss a free throw, miss. And Fred, we're like, Fred, you gotta make time. He said, man, I can't make time. Fred was like, Coach, I'm tired. He said, Fred, you ain't tired. This is Fred's response. How you know I ain't tired? You don't know my legs. Who says that? You don't know my legs. Yeah. Coach looks and takes a second and laughs and be like, oh, y'all get out of here. Bring it in.
What's up, everybody? This is Coach Love with the ROK Podcast, also known as Recruit Oklahoma. And before we get started, I want you to subscribe on the YouTube channel and also go to recruitoklahoma.com for ROK apparel and sports content supporting our Oklahoma athletes. Now, today on the ROK Podcast, we're joined by one of the Oklahoma's finest, a true competitor on and off the court. From Broken Bow, Oklahoma, he was Oklahoma's 4A Player of the Year and a record-breaking sharpshooter at Oklahoma State, leading the Cowboys to their Final Four appearance in 1995. He's continued his passion for coaching, earning 4A Coach of the Year at Tulsa McLean, and now leading Claremore High School. So please welcome Randy Rutherford. How you doing, Randy?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You know, life is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I made a move to go from McLean to Claremore, so I'm just working that process.
Okay, and how's that transition going for you?
Transition's going good. You know, you have your positives and your negatives, like anywhere you go.
What made you decide to make that move?
Well, honestly, I wasn't even looking forward to going anywhere because I've had opportunities in the past. Yeah. And it was just some things that happened internally at McLean that I didn't think was best interest for me in the program.
Okay, gotcha.
And so I decided to, didn't ask for a job. And some OSU people from Claremore knew where I was.
Okay,
and they came
and
got me.
Yeah. Hey, we pokes, we stick together.
We stick together, absolutely.
Of course, I'm a proud poke myself.
Absolutely.
You came the years right after, right before I got there.
Right. So you came right after me, like a year or two. I was 90 to 95.
95. So, and I was 95 to 99.
Right. So right after me,
Yeah. So we just get that tradition going.
Absolutely.
So, of course, I'm a football player.
Oh, absolutely. But we're a family anyway. Yeah. That's the way Coach Sutton had it. That's the way Pat Jones had it.
Absolutely.
Coach Simmons had it. I mean, it was all about creating that family atmosphere.
Absolutely. So now, as being a head basketball coach, now, tell me about what goes into your decision, or the decision-making process of choosing a high school to go coach at. Well, I know you mentioned some people came and sought you out, but what would make you say, no, I'm not coaching?
Well, I really look at the challenge.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Going to McLean was a challenge.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at. I think I'm pretty good at what I do, building relationships, building young man's, changing character, changing culture.
Okay.
So that was a challenge for me. And I had some bumps. People didn't like how I did things, but at the end of the day, either you're going to let me do it the right way or I'm not going to be here.
Right.
And so usually I like a place to go where I can see where my service can be more there than anywhere else.
Okay.
I don't want to go where it's just easy to win. I want to go somewhere where I can build something.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's how McLean was when you got there?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you turned it around?
I mean,
so to speak.
They've had success,
yes.
But my biggest deal was about making them better kids off the court and in the classroom.
Okay.
I wanted to have the best student athlete in the building.
Right.
And when I left, that's what we had.
Okay,
3.0 every year.
Yeah.
Everybody in the building would say the basketball guys are the best kids in the building.
Okay. That's what you want.
That's what you want when you leave. Leave the place better than when you got there.
Yeah, change the culture too.
Absolutely.
Now, you're optimistic about this season?
I'm very optimistic. I believe that usually coaches who go into a place your first year, you have a chance to have your most success that first year.
Okay.
You have to build from that because your first year when you go in, everybody's learning. It's a change. And so you can go deep in on what you believe in and what you want to do.
Okay.
And they got to buy in or they'll get out.
Right.
And so your first year can be your best year.
Yeah.
Very rarely it's your worst year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this year.
Yeah. Funny you mentioned that. I mean, the phrase is addition by subtraction.
Absolutely.
They don't want to get on board, Hey, we'll do better without you.
We'll do better without you. We're gonna win with you or without you,
Yeah.
but we would like to win with you.
Yeah.
But if you can't get in, we're gonna have to make it work without you.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
So who you got? Some good staff, good players.
I got some good staff. It's a blessing and a curse because when I took the job, I ended up having to hire all coaches. So I had to hire a 7th grade coach, 8th grade coach, 9th grade coach, and 2 assistants. And so I ended up keeping Coach Tarver, who his son will be a senior, is one of my pretty good player, a guard. It's going to be pretty good. And then I hired my 9th grade coach is Coach Schultz, who's going to be really good. My 8th grade coach has been there for like 12 years, 7th and 8th grade, never high school. So I just moved him to 8th grade. Then I hired another 7th grade coach. And then Andre Williams, who played at OSU, is going to be one of my high school lay coaches.
Okay.
So he's worked with me before at McLean, so he wanted to get back in there. Coach, I said, hey, you a poke, man. Come on, let's make it work.
So before I saw
Minotti?
Well, Montanati, but also Marcus Dove.
Oh, D1?
Yeah, Dove.
Yeah, D1.
Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus Dove. D1. I call him D1.
Okay, so I saw him, and we talked about coaching. He said, I ain't going to coach it. And he said, you hit him up to because I said, you gonna get that itch.
Right.
You gonna get that itch.
He will. Yeah. We talk. I say, hey, come in and see what it's like, because that's what you want to do anyway. You want to work with kids on a different side. You want to be more of the mentorship side. Mm-hmm. But that sports is the same thing. You get the same faction.
Yeah. All right. So now take me back to
Broken Bow.
Okay.
I was born in Tulsa. I moved to Broken Bow in the 3rd grade.
So tell me about your upbringing out there in Broken Bow.
Well, Broken Bow was one of those places where I kind of, when we was talking about earlier about what make you kind of take a job, Broken Bow was a small town, but we were a 4A school. We're like, when I was growing up, we had about 6,000 people, right? I think now they got about 15, right? But we were a big school. We were the biggest school in that area. In McCurtain County, there was eight schools in the county, but we were the biggest, us and Idabel. We were a little bit bigger than Idabel. We were 3A, 4A, back and forth. And so when I went to OSU, that was one of those things I liked about OSU. Bigger city. I mean, not a very big, but it's a big campus.
Yeah.
And then when getting me recruited, I was like, man, I want to be somewhere that feels like home. When I went to Bacone, very similar, for a year. And so it's all about, Broken Bow was all about hunting, fishing, hanging out with your friends, going to church every Sunday, every Wednesday, So it was just growing up being just free and wild, free and wild.
So did you have any siblings?
I got 5 brothers.
Okay.
6 of us all together. I got 2 older. And I got 3 younger.
Okay.
My youngest 2 are ministers.
Okay.
Other 2 and my older 2 they're all, everybody's married. Everybody's got families. They all play sports, but they didn't like college. They liked the sports, but didn't like the school part of it.
Okay.
So that's a major factor in it. You got the talent, but if you go to school and you want to do the schoolwork, you can't play. Yeah, you can't run.
I was almost gone my first semester.
I think everybody gets that. When you get there and nobody's telling you what to do except the coaches, and you got that freedom, it changes your perspective real quick.
Yeah, you learn responsibility real quick.
Absolutely.
You can lose that scholarship, not have if I would have lost, if I would have been, so I was put on academic probation.
Absolutely. We all been there.
Yeah, and so if I wouldn't have got those grades up,
what are you gonna do?
I wouldn't have met my wife.
I tell them all the time. You wouldn't have met your wife. You wouldn't have been in school. You couldn't afford school. Your parents like, what are you doing? Like, and that's what I try to tell our guys. At the end of the day, the air will go out of the ball.
Yeah.
Or the bat won't hit it. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you can make sure you get that education, and you can learn how to network and talk to people, you can be successful. Right. And so that's what it's about.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of working for me now, just networking and knowing people. And you and I.
Yeah, and you were there. Like they said, okay, yeah, you played there.
Right.
Okay, yeah. We're willing to talk to this man and try to see what we can do if we can work together.
Absolutely.
And that's what people forget about. That's the most beautiful thing about it all is your networking, building relationships.
Right. Totally agree. So were you one of those kids that always carried a ball around?
Yeah, I mean, I was one of those kids that we lived about where we lived here, and then the alley was the church, and across the street was another church.
Okay.
So all my brothers, every Sunday, we was the guys that get in trouble for playing baseball or whatever, busting the windows out of church.
Okay.
So Pastor Crawford was always after us. We get there, but we was always the ones doing the lessons. You got the primary, secondary, so all the Rutherford brothers are going to be doing a lesson.
Okay.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
And so we always had a ball. We could walk to the park about a half a mile. We just always with the ball. Football, everything. We played everything. So we was after.
So did you play football in high school?
I stopped playing football after my 8th grade year.
Okay.
But I stayed with track. So Football was one of those things. My brother cousin was he was the best running back, and I was a little bit faster. So I was just like, dude, I'm just not going to play. I'm going to stick on what I wanted to do. And so I was a 4-time state champion in track, All-American in track, basketball, same thing.
Dang,
so,
really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. So we played everything. Baseball was my first love, so we did it all. We did it all.
Who was that first person that said, I think you can go to the next level playing basketball?
Well, I was fortunate enough when I got in the 8th grade, they hired a coach, George Dawson, come from Nebraska, actually from Grove High School. And funny story is he played high school ball against Bryant Reeves, Big Country's dad.
Okay.
Because they was both in the same area, Grove, and so Gans and Grove is right there. So, but he played at Nebraska, Omaha. So when he came there, he was a college guy. Like he understood, like, Randy, you 6'2" in the 9th grade, you're not going to be a post player. You got to work on being. So he's like, no, you're not playing the post. And players in the past, because they were the best athlete, I'm the tallest guy, they put you on the post.
Right.
So he was the guy that recognized that. And if he wouldn't have been there, I'd have been just like the other guards that were there playing the post. So they were like, well, he can't play on the perimeter.
Well, yeah.
So Coach Dawson changed my life, and we still talk.
Good.
He's still now. He's in Gore, still coaching softball now.
Okay. Yeah. So you already said you were hunting, fishing, and
I was hunting. All my brothers. I would love fishing. Never was a hunter. I would go hunting with all my friends, but my brothers, that's all they love to fish, love to hunt. Like, you want to go to the house, you're gonna have deer up there mounted, all that.
So when you were growing up, were you an OU or OSU fan?
Always OSU and always a Redskin fan.
Okay.
Everybody in Broken Bow and McCurtain County is usually a Dallas Cowboy fan or OU fan.
Okay.
But I changed a lot of them during the time I was there, when I got there. But no, I was always against the will. I wanted to be OU because everybody else was OU and they was winning.
Broken Bow hoops. Okay. What was the culture like there when you were playing?
Broken Bow was known as the beast of the Southeast football.
Okay.
We won 3 or 4 state championships
I know they were
in like
really
5
good in football. Yeah.
Basketball, they hadn't been to state until I kind of like got there. I think we went 4 years in a row. But I had great guys in the county that I looked up to. Tony Owens played at Eagletown, played at A&M. Durrell Burse played at Southeastern. You had Eric Moore played at Southeastern. So you had some good guys going that had talent, but just overall, basketball was one of those things. Like, my motivation was my superintendent told me, he's like, Randy, you going to be like everybody else and go to Eastern and play basketball? He was my motivation.
Okay.
When he told me that, because I didn't play football. So that was my motivation when somebody said, you can't do it. And I didn't hold a grudge with him. But tops it off, when I came back, when I finished school, I got a highway named after me, a boulevard, and he was there. And I spoke to 10,000 people and said, you was my motivation, even though you didn't know it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
That's good. You
Yeah,
got a street named that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy. So there was one kid I remember from Broken Bow. He played in the All-State game with me, but I think his name was Marvin Galloway.
Yeah, I know Marvin.
Okay,
the Galloway brothers.
Okay, so that he was big.
It's about 5 of them.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's 12 of them all together, but it's 5 boys.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I played with one of them in the Odo Bowl.
Absolutely. I know Marvin very well.
Tell me some of the good, proudest moments that you've had as a. Now, what were their mascot? What was the mascot?
Savage. Broken Bow Savages.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Broken Bow
Okay.
Savages.
And
I think in high school, because when you do something that hadn't been done, I think the biggest deal was us, our friends. Like, most of my friends, we'll be in basketball season, but 3 of our starters are in football.
right. Okay.
Right? So we may have 12 guys, but only literally 4 of them going to play.
Yeah.
So you had to make it work. So the guys that stayed there and battled with us was like some of the best fun. We go to tournaments and stuff, and we win without starters. So we knew we had a chance to be really good.
Right.
So that was our thing, is like, we're going to build that culture with everybody. And so you is most important is the guys that are not there, and you get a head start on them because they got to come learn.
Right.
So that was the deal. I think winning, the biggest deal in high school is I never lost a game in McCurtain County from my 8th grade year till I graduated, ever.
Man, ever.
Never lost a game. Never lost to Idaho. Never lost to Wright City. Never lost to Valiant. Never lost to Eagletown. Never lost to Baptiste. Never lost to Smithville. Never lost to Hayworth. My whole career, 8th grade through.
So was Idaho the biggest rival?
They was. That's the oldest rival in Oklahoma to this day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
They were tough. Like, we would go over there and we had to get police escort out. We couldn't even. I would go watch an event at Idabel, like in high school. I couldn't go watch a 9th grade game out there without some people with me.
Yeah,
because they'll jump you.
Yeah.
Dang, back in the day, they was like, it was serious business.
Okay. I coached. I still coach, but in 2015. No, 2017. We won a state champion. So I coached at John Marshall High School.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And played them in football, IDBL, and they had some dudes, man.
Dude, they won 11 straight state championships.
That's crazy.
They had speed. They just couldn't catch. Yeah, they could run. They couldn't catch.
Yeah, well, we luckily we had a guy named Devontae Lee who was a crazy running back. But we ended up beating IDBL in the championship.
Yeah. IDBL is going to cover this week. Coach Kippy Smith was the best thing ever happened there. I mean, he just retired. I mean, he's passed now, but his son come in. But IDBL, man, they've had Olympians that run track. Like Lamont Murray, all those guys, I mean, that's all they do is run. I don't know if they're running from the cops or what, but they fast. They fast.
You ain't going to catch them. Yeah,
you ain't going to catch them.
Yeah. So getting into a couple of basketball games, did your coach ever have to pull you back from shooting too deep in the game, or did he just let you play?
In high school, my coach was like, Randy, just go play. The guys are going to feed off you. But he wanted me to be a really well-rounded guy. Like I think my senior year average like 30 and 16. Like he made me a rebounder. Like go get the ball. Like if you rebound it, you can push it. So they gave you more motivation to be a little bit more selfish. Yeah. I'm going to go get it. In high school, it ain't that difficult to go get rebounds. Just go get them. But no, I mean, he was pretty much teaching me how to play the right way because he said if you get to college, everything is going to change. When you get there, you can be as good as you are. You're going to be like, the guys are 3 or 4 years older than you.
Right.
It ain't like it is now.
Yeah.
It's everybody's young, but not now because they're keeping those fifth-year seniors. And so the freshmen are struggling now because that's why they're going to JUCO. 2 years of JUCO don't count against NCAA no more. Because you're not physically enough. So I'm going to take a fifth-year senior or a freshman. I'm taking that guy. I got to win now. So, yeah, I mean, my coach was good. He was a good character builder and teaching you how to play the right way.
Okay. Now, if you had some of your Broken Bow teammates here, what would be some of the things that they would say about you? If you
Well, they would
keep it PG.
Yeah, keep it PG, right? No, they would say that I always wanted to be in the gym or I always wanted to be doing something active. Like we always was doing something. Like football guys, I wasn't playing football no more, but Coach Condick I would still go eat spaghetti dinner with him Thursday night. Okay. We were all friends from that age, right?
And that's with the football team?
Football team. Okay. Like Dale Condick at Muskogee. You know who Dale Condick is?
I heard the name.
Wagner?
Yes.
Coach down at Muskogee. He's in my high school. We grew up together. So we've been friends. He's won like 6 championships at Wagner. Now he just took the Muskogee job.
Yeah, man.
So his dad was legendary. So yeah, we was a family atmosphere. That's what I liked about OSU. It's very similar to Broken Bow. And that was my biggest deal. You didn't have that feeling when I hung out with Tubbs, and it wasn't the same.
It wasn't that?
It wasn't that.
Okay.
So.
Now, tell me about your recruiting process. Like how many the colleges, or like I know it's different now. You had to use VHS.
Well, the thing is, and I try to tell kids now, now everything has changed. It's all technical, right? So kids are putting videos together and sending them to coaches. And I said, coaches are not looking at that. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I said, if you're good enough, they're going to find you, right? And so for me, Coach Self recognized me like in the 8th grade because we would go to team camps at OSU. So he started recruiting me in the 8th grade. He was dropping me. I was getting letters in the 8th grade from Bill Self.
Yeah.
And he was assistant, only his second year being an assistant. With Coach Hamilton.
Okay, yeah.
Coach Ham, right? And so, and he was on me, like he was in Brook. But when it got heated, like recruiting, Roy Williams was flying in, Billy Tubbs was coming in, Fisher was coming in. They were all flying in, but Bill was there 3 days a week. He was driving from Stillwater to Broken Bow.
That's what. Now, yeah, that's a. I had to look up where Broken Bow was.
Yeah.
And it's a couple of miles from IDBL, but it's like right there by the border.
Yeah, it's 12 miles. It's the border of Arkansas and Texas. I can get to Texas in 30 minutes. I can get to DeQueen, Arkansas in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. And so and so I signed with OSU because of Coach Self. That was the only reason. That was it. That was the only reason I signed, because he knew everybody, but he knew everybody. Like to this day, he never forgets anything. He's of all the coaches I've been around, he is the most brilliant coach that never forget a name with a face.
Okay.
Like if he meets you one time, he's going to remember you. He's going to remember you, and that's his gift.
Yeah. Hey, well, if you can, I want to get him on the podcast. I'm trying to get on the podcast. I had a buddy of mine. I played with Tony Hurd.
Yeah. I know TH.
Played with him in high school. Him and Joe. And
Hurd played for him at TU.
Yeah. So I'm like Tony, just give me his number. I can't give him his number.
You can't give his number out.
But I hook you up. But he does a camp.
What you got to do? You just got to go down to a basketball camp and just let me get like 20 minutes of your time.
Yeah.
And set it up. Be quick.
Yeah. That's probably what I have to do.
We call bedazzle him, just show up. You
Okay.
know, once you say you OSU, he gonna feel obligated.
Okay, yeah.
You know, he gonna be
And
like,
I got all my equipment set up. You gotta just come on over. So,
yeah. He gonna be like, all right.
Now, I know you were academically.
I was a prop 48.
48,
I was
yes.
a prop 48. Yeah. And the reason I was a prop 48 was because back then they didn't even inform us about taking the ACT and SAT. I took it one time after the state track meet and made it 17. That was the last time you could make it. Had to make an 18.
Right.
So they said, look, you can appeal, do this. I said, Coach Self was like, I got a better idea. Just Carl Scott, who was at Arkansas State, who was Eddie Sutton's assistant back in the day, go to Bacone, graduate a semester early, just 1 year, and then you'll be at OSU midterm. So at that moment, I got there, I took summer school, I took 12 hours in the summer, and I started, so I played 1 year there, and then I graduated midterm. But my team was incredible. Like we had Brian Van, Sean Walker, Michael Barnett, Eric, Anthony Wilson, Van. I mean, we had 7 D1 guys on our squad.
Yeah, Van. I've interviewed.
Yeah,
Brian.
V's my guy.
Yeah.
We
He mentioned you. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that was a Bacone.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But so from there, I mean, you lit it up there, man. What was your average? You averaging?
At Bacone, I was the second lead scorer, average 18 points as a freshman.
I mean, as a freshman, yeah.
You know, and so I already knew I was leaving, but I would always go every weekend. I would go to OSU. Every weekend I was going, and I was doing that like in high school. When I graduated high school, I moved to OSU for the summer because I was taking my final test like in July. So when I didn't pass the test, I flew home. Carl Scott picked me up. Like if you ever knew the Broken Bow Airport, literally everybody was terrified. All the coaches got there like, dude, we were so scared about to land in this little airport.
Oh,
you know,
man.
they had a little
On the
12-seater yeah, pretty much.
Streets,
you know. And so, but I was like, it shows me that you're interested. If you flying your little jet into this place, 'cause they were like, we don't know if we're gonna be able to stop. Risking your lives to come see me.
Yeah.
You know. So,
Yeah.
but oh yeah, man, we had a great time at Bacone. Like it was different. Like I mean, we had some battles.
Well, tell me some of the funniest locker room stories that you.
The funniest people on our teams, man, was like Keontae Roberts is the funniest guy, man. Fred Burley is the funniest that could get away with anything. Fred, only guy that I've ever been on a team.
And this is at OSU now, right?
He played with me at OSU. We played AU together with Johnny Chicken Man with the Rams. So I've known Fred since like the 9th grade. He's the only guy that I've ever been around that could make Coach Sutton cancel practice. He would say stuff that Coach said he did not say that.
Wow.
It is so ridiculous that he said it. So for instance, prime example. Coach is mad at us and we're just running. Like we're just like run. You know, back in the day, it ain't no limit. Like,
you didn't get punished.
Hey, what?
Yeah.
We done run about 10 conditioners after practice. You still running. Somebody go miss a free throw, miss. So Fred, like, Coach, he's like, Fred, you got to make we're like, Fred, you got to make time. He said, man, I can't make time. Fred was like, Coach, I'm tired. He said, Fred, you ain't tired. And this is Fred's response. How you know I ain't tired? You don't know my legs. Who says that?
Like, yeah, come on now.
Right?
You don't know my legs.
You don't know my legs.
Yeah.
Practice is over. Coach looks and takes a second and laughs and be like, oh, y'all get out of here. Bring it in. Like Fred could make Coach. He would say stuff that like, I would never even thought of something that crazy to say. But Fred could get away with that. Coach Sutton was really big on senior leadership, being respectful and guiding the younger group. So Scott Sutton, who is his son, who's one of my best friends, we had a freshman from Colorado, Ben Baum. He was my suite mate, actually. And Ben was running this play. Because we were running over and over to make it work. It don't matter if you know the play. If you run it right, it's still going to work.
Okay, yeah.
Man, he was just clocking Scott, just catching him with elbow. Like Ben's like 6'10", 240. Scott's 6'5", 200. Scott's like, don't hit me with the elbow no more. But Coach is on them about screen. Next time he did it, Scott turned around and broke his jaw.
Dang.
Coach went up, don't be touching him, you big bully. Kicked him out of practice and all this. So, I mean, we had so many things that happened in practice that was just, but it brought us closer. Like, Brent was my suite mate. He had to be in with his jaw, sucking out of the straw for 3 months.
Some applesauce,
Yeah, all day.
Man. Of course, you play with Big Country.
Yeah, Big C.
Big
That group is like a special group of young men now, fathers and husbands, but yeah, we were close because what Coach always did was he believed that it doesn't matter where you come from, what environment you're from, or background you're from, or nationality you are. If we can get you in a great culture, we can create what you're looking for. I can make you a better person because you haven't been around these people, no matter where you've been or how you are. And so you got Big C, who's from Gaines, Oklahoma. You would go in his room, all you would see is Gatorade bottles full of snuff.
Yeah.
Dipping, just dipping. Yeah. Right? Then you have me on the other side, who's country, because I got a very deep accent, Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma combined.
Yeah.
But I'm borderline preppy, right? And then you'll have Scott Pierce is from Euless, Texas, who is Texas, all Texas, but think he's preppy.
Right.
So you had this mixture of guys that were just
Scott,
just totally different. But you blend it so well, now you're best friends.
Yeah. That's a melting pot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got Big Country and Terry Collins. Terry Collins is from Joliet, Illinois.
Okay, yeah.
Straight suburbia. Engineer major. Best friends. Like connect. How? We don't know, but they do.
They do.
Right?
Yeah.
And so they were best friends. Like, it's very simple. And me and Brooks Thompson was best friends, Colorado. So it connects. You all family, but you connect with that one or two people and you bonded.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Terry's daughter is pretty good.
T-Bone, oh yeah, she could ball.
Did she play? She finished at Auburn?
Yeah, she finished at Auburn. Yeah.
Auburn,
she could ball though. I worked out a couple times. I told
Yeah.
Scott she needs to leave there. She needs to go. She can go to that next thing. She can work on that jump shot because she had all the tools to be a monster.
Yeah.
Like she was athletically, nothing like it.
Me and my cousin Santon Bones, we did some basketball camps in the city, and I think she was in 7th and 8th grade or 8th grade.
Right.
But I'm like, I didn't know who she was.
Right.
And she jumped and she almost hit the backboard. I'm like, who's this? We still have a picture of her just jumping.
Right.
And because we were like, man, who's this girl?
Right.
And so we figured out who it was. And I said, oh, Dad plays it on stage.
Right.
And
T-Bone, jump out the gym. Like he ran track out. Like, to this day, like he's still dunking the ball. You wouldn't even know. He come in with full boots on, just boop, like it ain't nothing.
How tall was he?
6'6".
Okay, yeah.
6'6".
Yeah.
But literally, I tell people all the time, all the athletes of athletes, he was probably one of the best athletes that nobody ever talks about.
Okay.
Like crazy athletic.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy athletically. The Graham twins were athletic. Joey and Stevie, I coached them. They're great. But T-Bone was just a different animal.
Really? Okay. So kind of rewind it back. So when you got to Stillwater, like when you first got there to start playing and everything, what did it mean to you when you were able to finally put on that orange and black?
Well, the biggest deal for me was that, you know how you always, I think we all have dreams and passions, what you want to do, but you never know if you're ever going to get it or when your time's going to come. The key is you got to be ready. You got to put in the work and be ready for your time. And so I was battling Earl Jones at the time, who's one of my best friends now from McLean. Earl Jones was the point guard at the time, and me and Brooks was redshirted, so it was 3 guards that one of us ain't going to be on the floor.
Right.
I know I'm a defensive stopper first. I know I can score, but I know defense is what Eddie wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I switched that immediately. And y'all can battle about who the scorer is. I'm going to be defending. But when I got the opportunity, because I didn't start right off, I think Earl started like him and Brooks started the first 4 or 5 games. But I was just consistent defensively. And once I got my spot, you wasn't getting it back because I realized what he needed for me to do.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
He wanted me to guard, rebound, make open shots. And so once I knew that, I already knew how to stay on the floor and not turn the ball over.
Yeah, I think part of your accolades is being Big 8 all defensive team.
Yeah, 3 years in a row.
3 years, yeah. So that's, there you go.
Hey,
kept you on the floor.
Hey, once you realize how to stay on the floor, and I was like, my objective was I want to be on the floor because if you're on the floor, the girls want to talk to you because you're on the floor. If I'm on the bench, girls don't want to talk to you. So your objective at that time, you 18, 19, you're like, man, I got to be on the floor.
Yeah, I got to be on the floor.
And we learned from some great guys. We learned from some great guys. When we was redshirted, we got to see one of the best teams in college basketball. You got Byron Houston, Von Bennett, Sean Sutton, Darwin Alexander, Corey Williams, Milton Brown, John Potter. You got to see Johnny Pittman. You got to see a phenomenal team. Like they're number 2 in the country.
Yeah. When did Starks play?
Starks played he finished like in 85.
He's way.
Yeah, he's way ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know John very well because I took the Central job, and John he has a camp that he does there. So I've known John. I've run into John in New York. Like John's a great dude, great guy. But we had like some seniors that we learned from that taught us in the summertime. Like, hey, this is what you do. You're up at 5 a.m. and you're working out. So it was awesome.
And fast forward a little bit to that 1995 run. to the Final Four. What was that like for you? Like, I mean, y'all beat a number one team.
We beat yeah. So the thing for us was that the year before, that was the best team I think has ever been at OSU.
Okay.
The best collective of talent.
Okay.
On one team. We had me, Brooks Thompson, Bryant Reeves, Milton Brown. The same team that I had the next year, but we had Brooks.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
Milton.
Yeah.
And Vaughn. So we were ranked 8th in the preseason that year. But we just had – it was just a lot of moving parts, So we get beat in the second round. But so coming in the next year, nobody's like, oh, you only got Rutherford, you got Country, and you got these guys that you putting together. But when you blend them and you understand your role immediately and you try to be a superstar in your role, great things happen. And we had a defensive-minded team. Terry Collins, first team all-defense. Me, first team all-defense. Pierce is the defensive player, not offensive player. So the majority of our guys were defensive players. Keontae, a defensive player at the time, not offensive player. Our point guard, Andre Owens, a defensive player.
Yeah.
So we had all defensive guys, and you got that defense from Coach Sutton. So now you just run your stuff and know your role. You're going to be hard to beat. And when we clicked, we were unbeatable. Like, we thought we was going to win. We shouldn't have lost to UCLA if I would have made more than 5 shots out of 14.
Okay.
Open shots that I missed,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the run was fun, but we never, honestly, I always tell people, we never went into a game and thought we wasn't going to win.
Okay, so I'll ask you a few questions about some of your players, your teammates.
Okay, absolutely. I'll give it to you.
Who would be the loudest in the locker room?
Oh, Keontae. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. You don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing is going to be loud because there's going to be a lot of drama around it. So it's going to be loud.
Okay. Who would pull a prank during practice?
Biggest prankster would have to be probably, I would say Brooks Thompson would have been.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Brooks would have been the prankster.
Okay.
He would have done the funny stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in heaven. I know.
Absolutely. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
My boy.
Who would take over a press conference with jokes?
Keontae.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah,
it's very simple. When you ask the question, you kind of know what the answer is going to be. It's pretty. Yeah, Keontae.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Who would stay the latest in the gym after practice?
Oh, that's going to be me and Brooks.
Yeah.
Every time.
Knocking down shots.
Every time.
Okay. Who's the most motivational teammate?
Scott Pierce.
Okay.
No doubt. Toothless in Seattle.
Yeah.
He can tell you some stuff
now,
to make you think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, give me some examples.
For example, I was just in Arkansas this past weekend hanging out with him, but Pierce is from Euless, Texas, and Pierce was one of those guys that had so much talent. But, coaches kind of, at a certain time, the coaches like to pick and poke at people. And Pierce would be like, man, I don't even know why coach is always on my case. I mean, I'm here every day. I work hard. I said, Pierce, he want to know if you'll be in the foxhole with him. And Pierce is like, I'm from Texas. I hunt.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he want to know if you willing to go to war with him in that foxhole. And so, but Pierce is always the guy that can come to you. If you got an issue, he's going to talk to you about it. He always, religion is always big. So we can have, me and him used to we have a lot of conversations about religion, a lot of conversations about motivational and your challenges and what you're doing wrong or what you've been through.
Yeah.
He's good. He's the best at that for sure.
I can imagine, but who would get the most rebounds?
Country gonna get all the rebounds, but besides him, me.
You okay?
Yeah, I was second lead rebounder, so
okay.
I'm gonna go get the defensive rebound,
right?
Because I'm allowed to push the ball.
Okay, yeah, that's
right. So if you get numbers, Coach Sutton was a stats guy. So when he looks at numbers at the end of the game or end of practice, he want to know, like, guards, you're big guards, you got to get defensive rebounds, right? So it was always, after practice, the managers put all the stats. While you shower, you come out, all the stats for your practice is there. How many shots you made, how many turnovers you had, how many rebounds you got. So you get to see what your day was like every day.
Yeah, what you produced. How did you produce?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when the game come and you ain't on there, remember those stats.
Right.
So it's right there in front of you.
That's your chance right there.
That's your chance. You put it out there every day.
Who can you remember that had the wildest pregame ritual?
Fred Burley didn't have a ritual. He just show up ready to play.
Really?
Okay. Oh, yeah. It was nothing. He ain't going out to shoot before. He gonna show up when coach say, hey, after we pregame, you got to be at the gym at this time. Fred's getting there at that time. He's not getting there 45 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
He's gonna get there. We got to be there at 6. The game's at 8. Get there at 6. We're gonna start he gonna get there at 6. He's not getting there at 5:40.
Come off the street.
5:15. He ain't coming at 5. I'm getting there at 5 because I'm gonna shoot for 30 minutes. I'm gonna go through my whatever. No, he getting there at 6.
Man, just come up, show up, and just
no
ball.
ritual. Just show up.
Who would be one of those dudes that would forget gear at home?
Fred.
Fred. He just show up.
Fred gonna forget something.
Yeah.
And luckily the managers have a double of everything.
Right.
So you're gonna have extra, but he gonna forget something.
So during the film session, who would be, like everything is serious, who would be that person to bust out a joke?
Fred. Fred didn't like film. Fred's gonna be watching film. Fred might be asleep. He might be snoring over there. Von Bennett would fall asleep standing up. So it depends.
Dang. Okay.
What the moment is.
What's the Randy Rutherford game at OSU that fans still talk about?
They talk about the KU game where I dropped 45, but that wasn't my best game.
Okay.
I always tell people all the time, that wasn't my best game.
Okay.
That's the most points.
Just 45?
The most points.
Okay.
But the best game is always the OU games. That was always the best games. Like I averaged like 30 against OU in my career at OU in Norman. I dropped 30 plus every game I played them.
Gotcha.
I loved beating their head in.
Gotcha.
Because when I signed with OSU, Billy Tubbs went on this radio show and said that I wasn't good enough to play there. That's why he didn't sign me.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was my motivation. And so every time I played him, I would drop 30 piece.
30 piece.
You can go check it out. You can look at it every time. I'm going to drop 30 on y'all just because Billy said it. So, but yeah, 45, yeah, nobody. I mean, it's the second most points ever in a regulation game. I think the kid from OU got 46 in triple overtime.
Okay. But he took overtime.
15 more minutes, bro. Come on, dude. And you only got one extra point. You know what I mean? So,
who was the toughest Big 8 opponent that you faced?
Like the toughest teams to always play against was always K-State. It depends, different year, because when they had Little Beam, man, they were tough because they were just scratchy. You had Skid Jones. Man, they were tough. But just as far as you gotta go play in Lawrence, man.
Yeah,
you gotta go to Lawrence, bro. Or you gotta go to Columbia, Missouri. You ain't.
Yeah, they had squad too.
You ain't the Antlers back in the day. You're not getting out of there with a win. You're not. You can. That's an L. You can look at your schedule and say L.
Okay.
OU marginal. You could squeak it out, but it could be an L depending on the year, right? But no, you're not. No, KU, you're not. I never won at KU.
Man. So how was it like playing in there?
It wasn't. They're the nicest fans ever. It's not bad. Like it's not like they hostile at you.
Yeah.
They cheering when you do stuff good. they gave me a standing ovation. They were cheering for me.
Okay.
So now they playing in Missouri, Columbia, worst place to. Nebraska and they're the worst two places to play.
Okay.
They're the worst fans ever.
Man.
Like they were, whatever they could come up with, they was saying it, and they was saying it loud and proud.
Do you have any good Eddie Sutton stories that you could?
Yeah, they're funny. It's so many of them. I'll give you two. So Coach Sutton, defensive minded, played for Coach Iba. That's all he's about, defense. And so charges is one of the biggest deal. Like
taking
charges,
charge?
yeah.
Okay.
You got to have a big Valentine to take a charge. That's the only play you can make in basketball can do 5 different things. You get a foul on an opponent, get the ball back for your teammates, sacrifice your body, get another foul on a total foul count, and you can foul them out. There's nothing else you can do. You can make any jumper you want. You can do whatever. You can't do that, though.
Right, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So they were out there, and we were doing charges, and they was, you got a bunch of new guys in. They don't understand what a charge is. So Coach Sutton just got fed up, and he got up. And Coach had to be right about 60 because this he'd have been about 58 because it'd been my sophomore year. And so he was like, do I got to get up and show y'all how to take a charge?
At 58?
But here's the thing, though. Like, when Coach rode somebody, the coach just rode that guy because Coach was riding him. And this happened to be John Potter.
Okay.
Oh, no. Durant, our guy, John Potter was like one of my idols. I watched him come in and Brooklyn drop 69. So I was like, I like that white boy. He can ball. Man, they was like, who going to do a run the charge? Because you're like, man, I'm not running over Coach because I know if you do it, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Man, John been waiting his whole life. Like
he was ready to run him over.
Man, he got up there, man. He got that ball at the top of the key. Just lay down and drove. He hit Coach, honest truth. He hit Coach, boom, and Coach took it right in the chest and slid all the way to the baseline. Everything in his pocket came out because back then you had those flannel sweatpants.
Okay.
Big, so it ain't no zippers. They're just old school. Everything came out.
Change and keys.
Keys, change, everything. Little candy, little peppermint, everything came out. Yeah, Coach gets up and he goes, "Now that's how you take a charge." He walks off the court, goes by. We didn't see Coach for 2 days. Coach had a bruised tailbone.
Oh man, that's funny.
and that
you didn't see him for 2 days.
For 2 days, we didn't see Coach for 2 days. Like literally, he was not in the building for 2 days.
He called in sick.
Hey, I'm at the doctor's of physical therapy, and so that was one of the first times that as a player you like, man, if your coach is willing to do that, why can't I do?
Why can't I do it? Yeah,
right. So, and I think that was the start of Coach's back problems. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, I think that because John, usually like when we do charges, we don't just run over you because you hurt yourself. You go full blast and you stop and just duck your shoulder and hit them and they fall.
Yeah. No,
he was waiting for. That was a conversation for about a month. Like, dude, what was you thinking?
Right.
He said, I didn't even care. Coach wasn't even playing me anyway.
Man.
To this day, that's the conversation.
He can't sit me down.
He can't sit me down. I'm already sat down. And John was averaging like 13 points a game, but he wouldn't play no defense. Though.
Okay, got you.
You know, 6'7", Coach was like, and we was like, dude.
And how tall is Sutton?
Coach Sutton was like 6 foot at the time, probably 5'10".
Okay.
You know,
and then the big boy was?
John Potter was 6'6".
God, dog.
And and he was a shooting guard. I mean, he hit him like literally. We were like, you really hit him.
So, but he acted like he was cool. Pick up all his chains.
Man,
and all his
he didn't pick nothing up. Coach got up and be like, that's how you take a charge. The assistant and the managers got that. Coach walked on around the bleachers and he was done. We didn't see Coach for 2 days from that moment. We didn't see Coach for 2 days.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then the other one, we was coming back from Nebraska. Mm-hmm. And I always hated flying in Nebraska, and the weather, it was just cold and still, you know, when Stillwater get cold and the ice.
Okay.
And that little airport we got, it gets slick. And so we used to come on like 3 different planes. You have like the starters on the plane, you have the second team, and you have the coaches. And so me and the starter was on the plane, and I was the last one to get off after Coach. Everybody else, you know. So the wind is blowing. And coaches have a fro, right? You know, coaches have a fro.
Yeah.
And it's night. So we're walking, and I'm, you know, man, all I hear is poof. Coach hits the ground, like he slips and falls.
Dang.
And I'm like, everybody else is already in the little thing, and I'm just me and Coach, and I'm like, Coach, you all right? So I help him up. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Knocked the air out of me. So he gets his briefcase. We go in, and so we get in the van. And I said, dude, I got to tell y'all a story, man. I said, man, Coach slipped and hit so hard, we ain't going to see him for a couple of days. Did see Coach for 2 days?
2 more days.
2 days.
That's the protocol for him.
The protocol. If he goes down, it's 2 days, baby. So
aspirin,
But Coach was the best. Well, I'll tell you, he was the best educator that I ever been around. Educator, not only about basketball, but about life and about wherever we went. If we traveled somewhere, he wanted to make it a lesson. So if we go to New York, we're gonna visit the Empire State Building. We're gonna visit all these historic places. Wherever we went, he was about an education for us. And I always tell people, basketball has made me see things that never would, but Coach Sutton was the first one to say, hey, when you go somewhere and you don't know something, go learn about it. Like, he always done that. Like, it was amazing how, and we, at the time, we were like, man, you cutting into my time. We're supposed to be, we gonna get our 3 hours to do nothing, you know? But, you know, you go to all these cities and you're going to see all this stuff that you take for granted when you get older, because your kids are going to want to do that. You know, your kids are going to want to go see SeaWorld. They want to, you know, but you as an athlete, like, man, I'm tired, man. I just want to go to my room and do nothing. But he always, no matter where we went, if we were there for multiple days, he always had something planned for us to go do. That was a blessing for sure.
Yeah, that was one thing Joe said, that he taught y'all like it wasn't just about basketball.
No, it was about life, man. He was the best teacher about life to teach you to understand like this is just a tool. And the air goes out. What are you learning with this tool and how you sharing that with other people?
Right. So now NIL wasn't around.
Right.
I mean, I know we kind of found ways to make a little money, but you know, but if it was, what would be the first deal that you think would have landed in Stillwater? Like cowboy boots, barbecue joints, or Eskimo Joe's?
I think, well, Toothless in Seattle was the first NIL gone wrong, is what I call it.
The what there?
The Toothless in Seattle.
Oh,
so when Scott Pierce knocked out his teeth, Eskimo Joe's printed shirts. They probably made $200,000 on the shirts, but he didn't get none of it because it's no NIL deal. They can print whatever they want. So that's the first NIL deal gone wrong.
Gone wrong, yeah.
You know, but I think a lot of it would have been with Eskimo Joe's, but I don't think it would have been as the magnitude as it is. And I think maybe one or two of us may have a car deal. You know, make sure you drive the car and you'd be doing the commercials.
Yeah,
though. Not just saying you're doing it, but you would be doing it like Coach Sutton was doing. You know, Charlie's Chicken, Rex's Chicken. He was doing all those commercials. We would have been doing similar stuff, but you know, I think I have no issue with NIL. I have a issue with the regulations.
That's
it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable.
Yeah.
Like and what it does is it eliminates the middleman, the middle schools, those universities. You can't compete. I don't care how good your coach is, how hard your kids work. You got no shot. I think they're going to do it. I think the best regulation they should do, they need to go with the NFL contracts.
Okay.
NFL has the best thing as far as being sustainable.
Now explain why.
So, for instance, in basketball, so you say professional sports, baseball, basketball, they're guaranteed contracts. So, Country, $60 million was guaranteed for 5 years. Hurt his back, tore up his back, it's guaranteed. Football, you have these what they call incentives in your contract. And so you may get your signing bonus early, which is guaranteed to cover the 4 years, but then if you get injured, you could get cut. If you don't perform, you could get cut. If you don't do the things you're supposed to do, you can get cut. And you're already old enough when you go to NFL because you can't go to NFL after 3 years. So in basketball, if you want to sustain it, just say, hey, if you sign an NIL deal, it's got to be for 2 years. If you leave after the first year, you got to pay your money back like they do in anything else. And then that'll keep kids there longer. Yeah. Because number one, they don't want to pay the money back once they get it.
Right.
And number two, where are you going? Because now we're just fighting against each other. You come on my visit and I tell you I'm going to give you $400,000 and you're averaging 12 points a game. And then you go on another visit, you tell them what I offered you, they got to beat that. So you're betting against yourself.
Yeah. I
mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
You got guys averaging 6 points asking for $250,000.
Right. Like what?
What? But the thing is, he's averaging 6 points. But at the end of the barrel, you're like, man, I don't have nobody. Like, I'm trying to he averaged 6 points in this conference. Maybe he can average 10 in my conference. Right? It's all, I mean, it's impossible to be successful at that. You know? Football is different because I think you get skilled players. Basketball is hard because it's just you got to shoot the ball in the hole, right? It's like you look at the guy at K-State, he got $2 million, and now he's whining about everybody on his case because he only averaged 12 points. What do you expect?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you ask for that money, there's a accountability and response and an expectation put on you by not your coaching staff and your teammates, but society and your fan base. But that's what it is, man.
So did you have an opportunity to go play at the next level as far as NBA?
I did. I had a lot of opportunity. Had some stuff happen in the process, but as far as talent-wise, I was picked to be drafted late in the first round.
Okay.
And we had some things that happened, which, I mean, I've talked about it publicly many times. I use it as a talking point and a talking lesson. Yeah. Watch what you say when you're around certain people because you never know what they're going to say in return.
Okay.
I keep it simple like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I went to Miami. I went to Minnesota. They paid me to be a vet, but I was injured. So in the end, I was making more money in Europe than I would have been making there because of the way the league was. Now you got two-way contracts. You got they got so much money thrown around. It's irrelevant.
Right.
Kid can't even chew gum and walk and get a two-way contract.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the game was different, right? And so, but I'm so happy for this new generation because it's more opportunity for the kids that don't have. Like my deal, I tell kids, if you are a father or a mother or a parent, if you can get your kids around the right people that understand what they're doing and doing it for the right reason, your kid has a chance to change your family's life. If you're serious about it.
Agree, yeah, I agree.
If you're just about, just going to play travel teams and getting a T-shirt and talking, but you're not putting time in the gym, I tell them all the time, dude, most of you that's on your travel team and your AU team, you cheerleaders, bro. You need to be in the gym where nobody is working on your game. So when you show up, they'll be like, who's this cat? That's what, if you look at the last 5 high school best players, they come out of nowhere. They weren't on the circuit just out there every weekend. They were just balling, working on their craft. And all of a sudden they blow up. Like, who is this kid? He went from 50 to 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're in there grinding.
Consistently, yeah.
Coach is going to find you, man. I tell them all the time, coach is going to find you. If you can ball, the word will get out from the right people. Cooper Flagg's a prime example.
Oh, absolutely.
He was playing in Maine. Sababrini, a pro player from the Celtics, seen him at 14. Called everybody like, you got to come see this kid. He's different. In Maine, playing with just some little bums. And he's like, this dude is different. Because he's in here playing with the guys I bring to play, and they college guys. And he in there balling.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? I mean, and that's what happens. If you in there in the gym putting in the work, it's going to show, you know?
So the opportunity didn't sustain as far as NBA? Or
It did not. I mean, I had options, but I was having more fun in Europe and Greece and Italy and Spain and Australia. I mean, I loved my career after college.
So how many teams did you end up playing with?
I played with I played with 5 teams.
5 teams. Okay.
I left CBA, and then I went to Minnesota, and then I left and went to Greece. Then I left for Greece and went to Italy, then went to Barcelona, and then I went back to Cyprus, Greece, and then I signed a 4-year deal in Australia. And every year I would get calls, hey, you want to come to the camp? For what?
NBA
camp.
Okay.
But why would I go to camp if I look at your roster? You got 22 people on your roster and 14 of my guards.
Yeah. For what?
For what?
I can make the easy money.
You want me to be a practice player and get injured? Now I have no money?
Right.
No. And so that was one of those things. And I always tell people, well, do you? I said, nah. I mean, time has passed. They talk about now, right now, if you was coming out now, dude, you'd be top 10 pick the way you shot the ball. And I said, yeah, but I can't live back then. I live now.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. So what was some of the biggest cultural differences that you saw when you went overseas?
Oh, man. Hey, I was blessed enough that I always played on the first division team, so I always had a driver.
Okay.
Because some places we driving on the opposite side of the road.
Oh, yeah. I tried that once.
Yeah.
I drove in Ireland.
Never did. I was like, dude, where's my driver?
Yeah.
You know, speaking their language. You know, I think my first year I was in Greece, and they had us in these big old townhouses, townhouses downtown. And so, but our owner owned it all, so you could go down in the restaurants and eat, but nobody spoke English. Like, literally. So I would go down, and I would have to draw pictures of what I wanted to eat.
What?
Yeah, that's how I had to figure it out.
Chicken.
Yeah, I'll grow a chicken. If I wanted eggs, I would draw an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would draw pictures and show them.
Okay.
You know, because my translator wasn't with me all the time. They would go home. But if I got up in the morning to go eat breakfast, I had to go down. Like,
could you draw shrimp?
Yeah, I could draw it all. Then I got the language for dummies, one of the first one. So I was learning a little bit.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
I mean, that was the biggest. But that was also the fun stuff, because you could visually watch and learn. Then you meet people and be like my teammates. I had some great teammates, especially young guys. They would kind of teach you and hung out with you. And the older guys was even cooler because they already had families, so they were like bring you over to their house and all that kind of good stuff. So I had great memories playing in Europe.
So when you now again you want to is it NBL?
I went to NBL. Yeah, I went to Australian National Basketball League, which is where all the guys go now. That's where all the NBA wannabe guys or gonna be guys go there. And because they go there, because the coaches are Americanized. A lot of them are Americans. And Australia always have a great Olympian team, and they got what they call the Institute of Sport, where their best young people go, and they start teaching them how to play what they play. And so I was in Australia for 5 years. I led the league in scoring 3 years. But back then the league it ain't like it is now. Andrew Gaze is a legend. If you know Andrew Gaze and Shane Hill, those guys are legends of Australia. He played at St. John's. Shane Hill played over with the Spurs. Brett Brown, who was the coach of the Philadelphia 66ers, was my coach. And so it was all about them. Like, even though you was an import, it was about them, you know.
Now, tell me, you probably have some wild stories from overseas, maybe?
Oh. Man, I'll tell you one thing about overseas. They treated the imports, they called us imports. They treated us good if you were good. Okay. If you wasn't good, they didn't treat you that good.
Okay.
If you wasn't good, especially if you were if you wasn't in the first division, was always your issue. If you're in the second division or third division, you don't know when you're getting your check. I was blessed to always be in the first division, but I didn't like Russia and Finland. I did go there. and the stop is through. But man, you'd be like, "Where's my check, man?" They'd be like, "Dude,
were you in Russia when Joe played in Russia a little bit?"
No, I was done. I trained Joe to go to Russia. I was back already coaching Joe.
Okay.
I was like, "Dude, you don't want to go to Russia."
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, "Man, it was cold."
Yeah, you don't want to go. Don't parts of St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Finland is way colder.
Okay.
We call it the whiteout. The Baltic Sea was froze. They would drive their cars across it.
On the what?
Yes. The Black Sea. They would drive their cars to cut through.
Yeah.
They were crazy. But they knew, like, that's what they did. I was not doing
That's
that.
crazy. No, I wasn't trying that
No,
out.
I'm not going to be the guy that get out there and it cracks
You
and I'm
don't wanna
under.
be on the
Never
news.
find you again. No, you ain't on the news. They don't even worry
Oh, they
about
don't
that.
care.
You lost.
You're in a lost file.
He's in lost. You in the world of lost there, buddy.
Man. After you played overseas and got all that out your system,
Right.
you came back to coach.
Came back to coach. Came back to Coach Sutton. I was like, hey, I want to get into coaching.
Okay.
And he was like, well, you know, you got to start at the bottom.
Yeah.
And first thing, this is untrue. And then he got it. He's like, you sure you want to coach?
Mm-hmm.
You know how hard it is?
Is it Sutton saying this?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how hard it is? It ain't fun. It ain't what. It's hard because you're going a lot. It's going to affect your relationships. And I'm like, Coach, I got a degree, but what else am I going to do? This is what I know how to do. I can transition this and translate that to other kids, transfer it. He was like, all right, come on back. And so I needed 6 hours to graduate, so I just went in, graduated, and it was history after that.
Gotcha. So he said you're gonna have to start at the bottom. So you didn't start as a GA?
No.
Just,
I started as assistant stretch conditioning.
Okay.
With Murphy, my guy. So he was like, well, I said, I'm fitness. I love to be in shape. I'm fitness. But here's the deal about Coach was so clever that he like, yeah, that's what my title is, but I'm out there coaching like everybody else, coaching more than some of them.
Okay.
Right? Because I already know what he wants. You know, me and Coach sitting beside each other while it's going on. He'd be like, Randy, tell them what you just told me. Like Coach was ahead of his time because he was allowing African-American coaches to coach. He wasn't like saying you're just a recruiter. He wanted you to know the game and teach you the game. And that's what he did to all of us who wanted to be involved. It was a foundation of learning, doing those scouting reports, watching that film, you know, showing like games over at 10 and we got a game tomorrow. We in there at 2 and 3 in the morning going over 9 different films watching every play, knowing everything they do. That's what he taught.
After OSU, did you get into high school right after that? Or
after high school, I took I went to Central for 1 year.
Okay.
Took them to state tournament.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine who was the AD at Murray State Junior College, OSU grad, called me, and I went there for 4 years. And then after that, my mom got sick. I stopped that, did academy, and then a friend of mine called me to go to McLean. And so it was all just every place I went had an OSU connection.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seemed like that's the
And that's
good.
It's good. It was kind of like I could have went to Jinx. I could have went to Bixby. I turned all those jobs down. But because I mean, it's certain things that as an OSU person, you understand how, especially if you know Coach Sutton, how things have to be done. You can go to certain places with that, it doesn't work.
Right.
Because it's A, B, or C, whatever it is. But certain places you go, that's what they need, that's what they want, that's what they crave. And so I've always been diligent on where I went.
Yeah, it makes sense because you can just walk into a brick wall.
It ain't like I can sign a contract for 5 years, and if they fire me, I get paid.
Right now.
Right? So you got to make sure you make the right decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what actually made you jump into coaching?
I used to tell, because my degree was in sociology and criminology. Okay. I wanted to work with kids. But when I left and came back, I could get my university studies degree just by taking 6 hours instead of taking 15 hours. And because I would have been dual, I would have had 2 degrees instead of 1. So I'll just do this because I'm just going to coach. I'm not going to be in the class. I'm not going to be. So, but I always knew when I was playing, I told people I'm going to be a better coach than I am a player because I was realistic about how long you could be good, what the numbers are, what the percentages are. But changing kids' lives, that's every year. Like you get better every year teaching and learning. So I always knew I could give more into that than anything on the court. You know, so I always knew I would be a better teacher of the game because you change lives more in that way. You don't change lives on the court. Being a player, you get kids' dreams, but you don't change their lives.
So you've been coaching high school ball now for how many?
7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
What has been your biggest struggle so far? The
TPS, my biggest struggle has always been finance. because they don't do a great job of financing the sports. I don't know how they regulate their money. I've never asked. They never will tell you anyway, so I don't know. I always had to raise money when I was at McLean. I had to raise money for everything. And so for me, when I was in high school, we didn't need anything. We had booster clubs.
Yeah.
You had more than enough.
Yeah.
You had everything you need. At McLean, they literally would not even give, I had to buy the shoes. We had to buy new uniforms. We had to buy travel bags. You had to buy everything. And so for me, that was it wasn't really a struggle because my wife does a phenomenal job. I don't know how much money she spent on those kids, but that was the biggest deal. If you didn't have to do that, and then off the court, that's the biggest issue. They're dealing with things that had nothing to do with basketball.
Right, yeah.
So you have to build relationships, number one. You have to get to know their guardian or their parents because it may not be their mom or dad, maybe their grandma, maybe their guardian. And so I didn't think that was hard because growing up poor, people always helped each other out. So it wasn't like that was a strange thing to me, right? But the consistency of if I need something for this kid, it should be available. If y'all talk about the kids all the time, right? So that was my biggest deal in TPS.
And it's funny you said we have to purchase everything now. I was at my daughter's softball meeting, and they're talking about, okay, we got to raise money for this, and this. And I said, I'm probably the only one in the room. So what are y'all taking care of? What are y'all paying for?
Right.
What are you assisting with?
Like you got to have some kind of athletic budget, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think? Like I always say, the TPS is like $1 billion industry.
Mm-hmm.
You only have 9 schools in TPS as far as high school. You have middle schools on that, right? And you can't give your kids enough money for the sport to be successful in? Or you're at a school that don't have certain sports, use that money that you don't have, because you have the money in for those sports. You don't have it. Why don't you just add that to the sports that you do have?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But from the federal standpoint, it's regulated for certain things. So it's a lot of work they need. They're doing the best they can. There's a lot of things they could do better.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of places. Yeah. Now, who would you rather? that's
okay,
that's
who would
the
I
phrase.
rather?
Yeah. Okay. Who would you rather trust to hit a game winner, Bryant Reeves or Brooks Thompson?
Depending on how much time's left.
2 seconds. The game winner.
Big C.
Big C?
Yeah.
Okay. Throw it down to him low?
Throw it down and go to work.
Okay. Who would you rather room with on the road, the quietest guy or the funniest guy?
Quietest.
The quietest?
Yeah.
Okay. You was one of those ones that just go to sleep.
Yeah. I'm going to watch what I'm going to watch and I'm going to sleep.
So you're not rooming with Keontae, right?
Never happened. Never get to sleep. Never get to sleep. Never get to sleep.
Both of y'all just be drowsy the next day.
Drowsy the next day, and Coach, we're doing film, and he dozing off, and Coach looking at me like, why you dozing off? You a senior, he's a sophomore.
Right,
What's
right.
up? Coach, you kept me up all like, well, you should be the mature. Not Keontae ever.
Never.
Never happening.
All right. Who would you rather have in a pickup game today? Your 95 squad or any team after that?
Oh, 95.
95 squad?
Me and Brooks doing everybody getting done.
Okay.
We talk about all the time. Everybody getting done.
Everybody getting done dirty. Yeah.
Everybody getting done.
Okay. Who would you rather go to Stillwater's Eskimo Joe's with? Your teammates or Coach Sutton?
My teammates.
You want to take Coach Sutton?
I would go with Coach Sutton if we were just going for a function.
Okay.
Or if I was trying to sell a product or needed a job.
Yeah.
If I'm going just to have fun, I'm not going with Coach. Just the fact that it's Coach Sutton. I'm not.
Yeah.
There's certain things I don't want him to know that I might do.
Yeah.
Because I still look at him as my boss.
Yeah.
As my coach. Right? It's like that level of respect.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm not going with Coach. That's a no.
All right. Who'd you rather face one-on-one today in your current shape? A former teammate or one of your own players that you've coached?
I'm taking my teammates because they all fat.
They all
overweight. They all big. I'm taking them. And I just tore my Achilles a year ago and I can beat them. So
dang. Man, yeah.
So now I'm taking one of my teammates. They all big.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking them.
Who would you rather call the best trash talker in Stillwater history? You or somebody else from those OSU teams?
Trash talker. Talks a lot of trash.
Did Keanu talk trash?
Talk trash. He talked trash, but he couldn't shoot, so he couldn't really back it up.
Okay.
Brooks was probably the most trash talker.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He talked a lot of trash. Like, Yeah. Like in the pickup game, now Darwin Alexander is the best pickup player I've ever played in my life. in my life.
Okay.
NBA guys, whatever.
Yeah.
We would be in a rec center after COVID. He just wrecked the game, bro.
Man.
Scoring every time. Could do nothing about it. Every time.
Really?
Ask anybody that played with it. Like,
and what's his name again?
Darwin Alexander.
Darwin Alexander. Okay.
Yeah. His dad was a college coach, and he lives. I talked to Dirty the other day. He's my big brother. Him and Corey kind of taught me and Brooks.
Okay.
We would go in Gallagher like at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Play 2-on-2.
Yeah.
They would never. We would beat them, but they would never want to quit.
They're gonna keep
Because
going.
Darwin's like 5'9", Corey's like 6'1", me
Yeah.
and Brooks like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
And we could shoot deep, so like we make it. You dead.
Right.
And it's 5 o'clock in the morning and the lights ain't on, and we getting the light from like.
From the.
So we would just ball like they were like, no. I was like, dude, we're done, man.
Yeah.
But on Darwin pickup game, run the rec center,
Dang.
run it. Like I don't care who on your team, couldn't stop him.
He running it.
Couldn't stop him.
Okay. When you look back at your career, from Broken Bow to the Final Four, what stands out the most?
Consistency.
Why is that? Yeah.
Well, because it's easy to say you're going to do something than it is to do it and then achieve it. And then go from Broken Bow, who the last guy from Broken Bow that done something at Oklahoma State was my next door neighbor, was James Dean Bullet Butler. And he did it in 82 and 83. He was the fastest man in the world and had to boycott. And so his grandma still lived next to us. And so he would always like, dude, you got to be the next guy, do something different, like make it. Because everybody else get to school and the school gets them out of school. Not your talent. It's that discipline part of it. Like, I got to go to school. Everybody's not watching you. The coach is going to help you, but you have to do your part. So for me, it was being consistent, just to getting through and getting my degree, being the first person in my family to get my degree. It was all about that. So that was my deal.
If you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what would be
your mouth.
One thing you say?
I said, shut your mouth. I said, not shut your mouth because I wasn't that kind of a kid, but I would be like, just be aware of your environment when you're talking, even if you're just joking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people take everything different. Mm-hmm. And I would tell myself to be more involved in current things going on outside of my little bubble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like being more, that would I would tell myself. Like be more conscious of things going on besides what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would tell myself.
Okay. What's one thing that you want OSU fans to remember about Randy Rutherford, the player and the person?
Well, I didn't say much, but I got the job done.
Okay.
Very simple.
Very simple.
Very simple. I want somebody to get the job done. You ain't got to tell me how you're getting it done. Just get it done.
Okay. My last question for you, and games. We're both competitors. We play games,
Absolutely.
and games are about momentum.
Absolutely.
And you can win games on momentum. You can lose them.
Absolutely. No doubt. Oh yeah.
Just as quick. So, give me one momentum shift in your life that changed your life, like either negative or positive, or more than one, if you have any.
Well, I think for me, growing up with a single mom, 5 brothers, and never really having a place or a person that you had a soft place to fall. Because my mom had to be a stern woman because she's raising all boys, so she couldn't be a very affectionate woman. She showed through her actions, right? But I think, and mine happened recently, getting married to my wife, is that she's always showed me that I can be vulnerable, right? And I'm never like that kind of guy, right? Like I'm like, what? There ain't nothing. But she's given me that space and that grace where she's a soft place for me to fall if I need to fall. That's about it. That's a big momentum shift for me.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, man. Man, well, it's been a pleasure having a Cowboy legend, an Oklahoma legend, here on the show with me, and glad we could finally connect and hook up and
absolutely
share some stories.
Hey, we all got them, right?
Yeah, we all got them.
We all got them.